Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. This is my Finish It Friday video for Friday, March 9th, 2024. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. I am so excited to share what I've been working on this past week. It's been a pretty cool week in the sewing room. I have a few still mid-progress reports to share, but really looking forward to sharing those things with you right now. We're going to start, of course, with my great-grandmother's quilt. I did spend one session this week on it, and I am working on these blocks right here. I'm calling these butterfly blocks. I think that I saw that somewhere, but I really don't remember. But so the butterfly, so this is like the body, and then these two corner shapes or side shapes, I'm calling those like the wings. And my great grandma turned these so that we can get some different looks. This one has the brown wings, but all the rest of them have like neutrally colored wings. And I did fill in a couple of I repaired a couple of pieces, a couple of seams. I repaired this one down here at the bottom. And then there was another one, I think, right over here. I'm going to put pictures in so that you can see those spaces that I repaired. Like if you are new to my channel, this is something that I'm working on one day a week for about 25 to 30 minutes with some hand stitching. This quilt was hand pieced by my great grandmother, who passed away in the early 1960s or in the 1960s sometime. And I'm restoring this and finishing it up for my mama. So this is a true labor of love. And I thought about spending a little bit more time on it this week, but I decided not to. But this is where I am right now. I've done all the repairs on the string blocks that I could see, and now I'm on these butterfly blocks. And so I'm kind of starting at the bottom of the quilt and going up. So that's my progress on this piece. And I am enjoying learning the hand piecing and figuring it out. It is a fun project. Now, the one of my other projects that I've been working on, the main project, is the memory quilt. And I have it on the long arm right now. I'll take you over there. Let's look at it and see my progress. I have the memory quilt here on the long arm. I am really happy with how this quilt is quilting up. It is a big twin, so or like a double, not a big twin. It's a double size quilt, and I am quilting it in this pattern called African Samba. So let me show you that. I'll show you on the back. So that's the quilt pattern. And I was a little bit concerned about how it would quilt up, but it looks really cool. You can see it nicely here on the blue. But it also blends well. Like right here, you can't see it at all. So I really like that. And then let's look at it on the black. So nice. And then on the backing fabric, you can see it there. I was going to try a red thread in the bobbin, but I was worried about it, about how it was going to come through as far as my tension was concerned. So I've decided to go with this in the bobbin. It's called Mother Goose, and it's quilting nicely. I think it's going to blend well enough, but you can still see the pattern. It's going to be fine. My top thread is actually variegated. Let me see if we can see it a little better. There we go. And this one is called taupes. And so it's like browns and dark grays, or like tans, you know, so I don't know. I was worried about how it was going to look on all these, but it seems to be blending nicely. So even like here in the red, let me zoom out a little bit. In the red, it blends, and you can't see it, of course, in these busy patterns at all. And then you saw it in the blue. and then in the black. So I think it's going to be um, a nice pattern, nice thread selection for this quilt. I am almost, well, I don't know if I would say almost halfway done, but I know that this is on the 4th row and there are 7 rows. So I'm making pretty good progress on this quilt. I was having issues with my thread breaking. I talked about that in several videos. And what I realized is that thread, the thread guide right here, let me see if I can show it to you. This little pigtail here, it has a nick on it. And so that is what was causing my thread break. And I'm just right now bypassing this. The long arm isn't on right now. So that's why the thread is kind of hanging right there. But what I'm doing is bypassing that, and it's made a world of difference. My quilting looks so much better, and I'm having a lot less issues with thread breaking and with tension. So I'm happy about that. But it's a really great project. Really excited to see how it's going to finish up and enjoying the quilting. Here is a project that I have laid out upstairs. This is the backing for my African coin quilt. I'm going to insert a few pictures here of what I did. I started with just the backing. I want to hopefully get this quilt on the long arm pretty soon. So I took the backing and I decided that I would use some leftover batting and piece of batting for this quilt. I pulled the warm and natural that I had, and there really was not enough of it. But I also had some leftover warm and white. I did not realize at the time how much I had. So you can see here this giant box of warm and white leftovers. When I dug in the bottom of it, I found that there were 4 really big pieces that I could use. So I've taken all of these pieces and they're on the back here. And then I just laid them out. So this right here, this side has a pretty big overlap. So I'm comfortable that I have enough to cover the whole backing. I took these 2 pieces on your right, and I decided to go start with these pieces. So if you'll check out this picture, I overlap them, and then I decided to try to do the really curved stitch or curved rotary cut in there. You should be able to see that in the next picture. And then I stitched it together with a zigzag. I'm going to zoom so you can see the zigzag. Supposedly, this technique makes the backing or the batting really flat. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe I may have done my curve a little bit too deep, but I think it'll be okay. I'm not super duper worried about it. I think it'll quilt out on the long arm just fine. But this is where I am on this one. I'm working on this like every other day for about 25 minutes. So I don't expect to get it done, quickly. But my 25 minutes is not wasted on this project. And then after the other quilt comes off the long arm, hopefully this one can go on if I have not finished the trip around the world quilt top yet. The final thing that I worked on as a part of this week's project is the rainbow trip around the world. Thank you so much for those of you who said you wanted to see that journey. I am documenting that, but I want to just show you my current progress, where we stand right now. I have all of my pieces cut here. All of my half strips are cut. I ended up pressing a lot of fabric and cutting my strips out of it here. And then I have, let me think, I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. And then I was so excited that I went ahead and made one strip set just to kind of give me a little inspiration. And it looks really cute. Can't wait to sew it together and cut it up. But what I'm going to do right now, my next step is I'm going to go ahead and prepare my strip sets. So this is one that I've just drawn randomly out of the bucket, and I'm going to pin them together. And then that way when it's time to sew, I can just do a big long sewing session and chain piece everything. instead of grabbing randomly as I'm sewing. So that's my next step for this. Hopefully what this will do is it will help all of these strip sets to fit in this project box. Right now you can see it's a little overflowing. I don't know, we'll just see. But this will be an easy thing to do as my next step. Really excited about this quilt. It's going to come together so nice. Can't wait to see all these rainbow colors and then put it on the long arm. Like, it's just going to be a lot of fun. So this is the next, but this is commission. So after I'm done with the other quilt, this is going to become my main project. And then the coin quilt, and I have another quilt that may become my two minor projects if I don't have another quilt commission. So, but these are very exciting projects. I am super excited to see how everything comes together. Please let me know in the comments what you're working on, what you're excited about. I love hearing what's going on in our community. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.